Good evening, good afternoon, good morning if you're all the way across the world. It's so lovely to have your company on this Friday evening here in the UK, of course, where we have got a masterclass. We've got a masterclass that's all about mixed media. Now, we were saying, of course, before, we know that when it comes to mixed media, who do we shout on? We shout on Jan. Jan was here this morning for an hour, then wake-up call, and then you're back again for the 2 hours.
I am back again. I've got all sorts of things ticked off my to-do list in the break, in the middle. I had a long extended break today, so yeah, got all sorts ticked off. I've done lots of all those little jobs that never get done.
Annoying ones.
So yeah, I've been able to get through some of those, do a bit of admin and sort a few things out. And yes, we're all good to go. So back to the mixed media. Like I said, if you were watching earlier, I said Craig and I were here, I think it was 3 weeks ago with a mixed media session. And what we've done today is we've brought back pretty much, not exactly the same products, but we've got a lot of the colouring mediums on again, on the idea that if you bought any of them while you were watching us last time, I've got some more ideas for what to use them. Okay. And if you're new to seeing them today, then obviously we'll explain a little bit about the product, how they work, and again, I've got demos lined up with a lot of them. So it's all about applying different colouring mediums to your paper, into your paper crafting is the idea today. So I've got some that are card projects, I've got some that are like home decor projects, things like that. I've got one that's meant to look like a bit like you know, when you buy what's the word I'm looking for? When you buy a photo frame and it's got like a picture in it. I don't know. Frame. I had a word there and it just zoomed off out the other side. Yeah. But yeah, the first one I'm going to do, it's meant to look like a framed sort of piece of artwork. So yeah, we'll talk our way through it. Excellent. Hope you enjoy the journey. And again, like Craig said, you know, if you've got any questions, fire them away. I will do my best.
Absolutely, yeah. What we'll do is if you do have any questions, now, you know my style by now when it comes to Jan, because I love watching what Jan does and creates and how she does it, like you do. Anything specific that you see Jan using, if Charlotte will pop it up on the screen, it'll come along the bottom, and we can do a recap when we come to a break, of course. Same with the questions, I'll tend to do them in chunks, unless there's anything specific to what Jan's doing at that moment in time. So to do that, of course, you need to get social. So we've got Susie once again on social this evening, where already lots of you tuning in. We've got Christine Mahoney saying hello again. Bring on the mixed media, please. Jan continues to wow us, doesn't she just? We've got Corinne saying aloha, good morning everyone from a sunny and warm Maui. Oh, bet you that's nice.
Oh, lovely.
Nice, bit of heat. Beth and Lina saying good evening, Craig and Jan. Looking forward to some mixed media inspiration. Mary Beth is saying evening from Minnesota. Jane Adams is saying hello from Las Vegas. Peg is saying hello. I'm doing a bit of watercolouring with the aqua pens. Jan inspired me this morning.
Excellent.
So always love to hear that.
Yeah.
Kay is in from Wisconsin, Charlotte's in from Herne Bay, Angela's in from Walsall. We've got Terry Anderson saying hello from Ohio, excited to see what Jan has got in store for us. Tammy is saying good evening from Philadelphia. Nanny to the girls is saying yay, Jan. And Zoe Carver saying good evening everyone from West Sussex. So of course, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you are watching, get any of your questions or comments through. And I know many of you will just be sending lots of wows throughout the demonstration that Jan has shown us today. Anything specific that you see, of course, that Jan's using, you are going to find on our website. Head across to Shop the Day. You will find other items in there that we don't always get a chance to have a look at. While you're there, please also have a look at some items that are remaining from that incredible cartload last night. Ben's cartload. We've still got some offers that are still hanging about. We've got some Halloween kits that are still there. Never runs out of style, does it? We need Halloween every single year. Get your hands on those ones today at the incredible deals that we've got them at, as well as some of your craft kits as well at crazy prices. You know, have a look, have a little peruse while you're there. You're also going to find lots of ideas and inspiration. Go down into that download section. You'll find bits there as well. That's where you need to go, .co.uk.com or .eu. And one of the things that you may fancy getting your hands on is what is our Showstopper collection. Now, this is such a lovely collection to have when it comes to inks when it comes to mediums, when it comes to tools. So let's start off with everything that I'm away to show you. You're going to be getting at £40 or $60. Platinum comes down to £32 or $48. And we're going to kickstart with our luxury watercolour cardstock, our premium watercolour cardstock from Spectrum Noir. Within this pad as well, 20 sheets, 9 by 12, and it's 300 GSM. It's all gummed at the top as well, so it's all going to be held in place, and you're just going to carefully tear out that page as and when you need it. Yes, it's 9 by 12, but when you'll have seen any of us use in any of our Crafter's Companion watercolour card, even when Jan uses it, you always know that we don't necessarily always use full big sheets. It's maybe sometimes half a sheet, maybe less than that, so it will still last you a good amount of time, depending on the amount of work that you do. You are also going to get your 4-pack of your water misters. Once again, if I refer back to a show that myself and Jan had a couple of weeks ago, you'll know that you can put many, many different mediums in there as well. It doesn't just have to be your water. You are going to get your circle blending tool as well with the 2 foam heads. You're going to be getting your mini blending sponges. Now you can be using these in the same way. Give it a shot, see how you want to apply your ink, or it's just nice to have as an extra stash within the craft room. You've got that nice roundness to one side and that little bit of a fine point at the opposite side. That's included. Then our colour in mediums. You are going to be getting a pack of your Tricolour Aqua pens. This is your Floral Meadow. Now, yes, it's 3 pens, but within each pen, you've got 3 colours. So in total, you're getting 9 colours. You are getting your Rose Pink, Jasmine, Tulip. You're also getting your Gold, Crimson and Sunset. You're getting Bud Green, Meadow and Verdant Green as well. All the details and more detail is across on the website, but I know many of you like to know the colours. You're also then going to be getting your dual acrylic paint markers. Keep in mind, everything I'm going over is included in that price. That's what you're getting within your Showstopper collection. Paint markers, you may be familiar with past shows that we've done. They go on a multitude of surfaces. You've then got your pink, your orange, your purple and your violet, the 4 of them. You're going to get a full tub of your silver Gildan wax. Now that's your full 30ml tub of your silver Gildan wax. That's included. Then we've also got our Spectrum Noir. So this one is a refill ink, TB9 or black blue. That one you're going to be getting included. So if you've got your TB9 Classique pen, and of course you can then refill that or use it to do some of your backgrounds. It's a lovely little technique to do with those, well, loads of them in fact. You're also then going to be getting your Citrus Lime. So this is your Cosmic Shimmer pigment stains. Now that's going to be included within this bundle. And then last, but by no means least, your Cerulean Blue. This is your Cosmic Shimmer Pearlescent watercolour ink as well. So you've got a nice range, not only from Crafter's Companion, Spectrum Noirs and Cosmic Shimmer. It is a lovely range of the colour and mediums as well as the tools and even the cardstock as well for you to get started with. So all of that £40 or $60. Look at that saving. You're saving $27.16 or $42.28 for something that you're going to have a lot of fun when you get creative with. Even better though if it comes down to platinum at £32 or $48. And then we've got an Explorer kit as well. This one, exceptional value for money, because if you see the price on your screen, £30 or $35, your sunflower, this one here, your die, that one is worth, I want to say it's round about, now I did write that down, $16.99 on its own, or $20 on its own. So you're going to be getting your sunflowers, your create a card basically. You've got your inner and your outer, Sunflower Splendor. Then you're going to be getting your 3D embossing folder from Masquerade Ball. The depth within this one, with that backdrop, with the chandelier, the detail of the chandelier, that's included. You're also going to be getting your Bloom and Grow. That one is your duo embossing folders, 2 of them within that one pack. That's included. You've then even got your Candy Cane. Now, this originally came out with a cut and emboss Christmas range, but it doesn't have to be for Christmas. In fact, when I've used this, I've used it more for occasions other than Christmas, but that's included. You're also going to get your enchanted door. So this is from your secret garden. 11 elements within this one pack alone. That's included. And then you're also going to get a full pack of Ivory Centura Pearl. 10 sheets, 310 GSM, and it's A4 in size. That's included as well. That's your Explorer kit, 6-piece mixed media set. £30 or $35. That's why you know now that I was saying that is exceptional. Even better though, if you are platinum, it's going to come down to £24 or $28. Now within that showstopper collection, you'll have seen that I showed you the TB9, so that one from your alcohol refill ink. If you are wanting to get your hands on some more, we do have a little bundle for you as well, which is a set of 10, so not necessarily a little bundle. It's full 10 of your selection of your refill inks, 30 mils in each, £40 or $50. Platinum comes all the way down to £32 or $40. The details of these are all across on our website that you can have a look. So you can either just type that name in the search or go into Shop the Day, you're going to find them. You will find other re-inkers if you want to add to the collection, whereas this is a lovely bundle as well. Just to say, like many things in the world, but especially anything alcohol-based, your alcohol inks, they are one of those casualties of what's going on in the world. So when it comes to refill inks such as those or Spectrum Noir ranges with our inks, alcohol inks, they do have a delay in getting here from port. So just keep that in mind, because once that set specifically is gone, we're not necessarily going to be getting them for, can I say that amount, Johnny? Yeah, so we've actually got less than 50 of that bundle of those alcohol re-inkers. So we will get them back, but it might not be till later on in the spring, it might not be till summer. Keep that in mind. It's entirely up to you. The option is there if you want to get your hands on them, but £40, $50 or £32 or $40 if you're platinum. So there we go. Lots and lots and lots of things that we've got on the show today. So say, get any comments, any questions coming in. 12 minutes in, that's enough talking from me, Jan. What are we going to do?
We're going to start with those re-inkers.
Brilliant.
The humble re-inker, yeah. It's a little pod of ink and you think, well, what am I going to do with it? It was, like Craig says, designed for refilling your classic alcohol markers. And it's important that you make sure that you've got the right code here. So this one's bright pink 7. And that must go with your BP7 alcohol marker. So please don't try filling anything else, otherwise you're going to distort that colour families in your markers. So they've each got their own code, and that will correspond with the code on your pens. So just a quick note on that. So we're going to, if you were watching me a couple of weeks ago when we did this, I showed you how to make a background with the re-inkers. And there's a couple of things I just want to say before we get started, because alcohol ink's one of those funny things that we have to be a bit careful with. So first thing is I'm going to, and I do apologise because I brought this with me last time, and as far as I'm aware, it is still out of stock on our website. Now I know some of you may already have some, so you can give it a go. If you don't have access to it, you can actually use the glossy photo paper that you can buy in, it's usually about a 6x4 size that you can buy in packs, you know, for running through your printer and things like that, as long as it's got a glossy surface. This is actually like a, it's called liquid media paper. It's almost like a plastic. It's not a paper as such. And the biggest tip is that it needs to be non-porous. Because something like one of our watercolour cards or our multi-purpose card, the ink's just going to soak in straight away and you're not going to be able to do anything with it. So it needs to be something that's got a non-porous surface. So as I say, this is almost like a plastic. Now, if you are interested in it, what I suggested last time was that if you pop onto the website, there should be a little box somewhere that you can tick and pop your email address in, so that when it does come back in stock, we will automatically send you an email to let you know that it's here, and then you can place an order with it. So these are 5x7 sheets, and I'm just going to pop one of those out ready to use. And then the second thing that I just want to go through is I am going to be using some, when I say neat alcohol, I've not brought my bottle of gin or anything. Oh, damn, I've got lemonade underneath here. It's actually isopropyl alcohol, so it's not for drinking, whatever you think. It's often referred to as rubbing alcohol. you can see here, it's got the warning symbols on straight away. And the only thing that I wanted to say is that it is recommended that you use it in an aired room. So with a window open or a door open, something like that. Now our studio is massive. So we've got the door open in the studio, got the window behind me. So we're okay, we're all good to go in here. But I just wanted to, if you're working in a craft room, then just be careful, that's all I'm saying. Now, I'm only going to use a tiny little bit of this, but what this is the neat alcohol, and then we add the colours to it. So the substance that the ink is in is this substrate. So I'm going to use this as like a diluting method. So all I'm going to do is just take one of our little pipettes that come with some of the Spectrum Noir products, or any pipette that you've got. Okay. And I'm just going to pop this in, squeeze it, and I just want about a pipette full of it, okay? So I've got plenty in there for what I need to use, and then I'm just going to put the lid back on, because this will slowly start to evaporate. So always make sure you've got your lid back on there. Okay. And what we're going to do is last time I showed you how to do a complete background. Now I know some of you have been having a play because I've seen them on social media, I know one or two of you have been enjoying having a play with these and making your backgrounds. Once you've made them, this will die cut if you add your metal shim in with the sandwich if you're using a Gemini. So again, you can use it as a background, you can use it to die cut, you could use it to stamp on, all sorts of different things. And then the last piece of equipment, I had this with me last time, it is just a little air blower. Now I've got this just off the internet. I just typed in air blower on good old search engine, and it brought these up, and all it does is it's a means of, you don't want to get too close to it. I've seen people do it with straws, and it does make me sort of cringe a little bit because you're getting very close to the fumes that come off it, which is why we say to do it in an aired room. So what we're going to do then, I've got a really nice bright pink. Now I'm not sure this is in the bundle that we have on tonight. This is actually one out of my stash that I just grabbed, and it's a nice sort of like a magenta pink. So what we're going to do is we're going to work with both of these. So I've got my little pipette with the neat alcohol in. I've got my paper at the ready. I'm going to work on my craft sheet, all right, so that you can see better what we're doing. And this time, the little squeezer in here, if you just squeeze this, it sucks up the ink, and it's got its own little dropper inside here. So we're actually going to work, and we're going to try and make more of a design tonight rather than just a background. So I did say that it's hard to replicate these if you're trying to mass produce. It is, isn't it? They tend to come out quite individual, but this time I'm going to actually put a little bit more control over it. So I'm going to start in the centre of my card and just pop a couple of these down, and you can see how it's just sat on the surface there. And then I'm going to add, just at the side of it, a little bit, and you can see it moving already. And then I just want to blow this out to create, and what I'm after is like a petal type of shape. So if it's not gone far enough, wherever you want it to go, it will follow that neat alcohol. So again, I'm just going to push it so far, like so, and then I'm going to bring in a second one. So again, I'm not going to put as much on this time. All right. Wherever you want this to go, you can pop your alcohol down, and then you're going to push it with the air blower into that alcohol. And what I'm trying to create is the illusion of petals. Now we've just gone off the edge there, which is not a problem, but I'm just going to dab that up because I don't want to drag it underneath the paper there.
See, already on that left-hand side, Jan, I'm seeing kind of like a tulip sort of feel to it. Yeah, you know. Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep turning the card because I'm sort of working away from myself. You don't want to be blowing that ink, into yourself and causing a problem on your clothes. But I'm going to blow this away. And each time you're wanting to create another petal. So again, here, I just need a little bit more. And I'm not going to do much, just to blow it into that. I'm being a little bit gentle, I think, on it there. So it's a case of just, there we go, look, you can see how it blows it out into that sort of shape.
Yeah, it goes far.
And then again, I'm going to take another little tiny, it doesn't need a lot of the actual colour. You probably need a little bit more of the alcohol. And what you're wanting to do is force that colour into the alcohol with the air blower, okay? And again, we're going to come back in And I'm just keep turning it so that I'm working in that same direction. And I'm just trying to control it. Last time we just literally went with the flow and we just let it go where it wanted to go. Whereas this time I am actually trying to create more of a shape with it. Now the one that I did at home, I spent quite a long time making that look like I wanted it to look, and I'll bring you that one in when we've got this one going. But again, exactly the same, pushing that ink into that carrying system. And if there's not enough colour, you can just add, and it's a tiny little drop, so that bottle's going to go quite a long way. So think about what direction you want it to go in. And then again, last one in here. So I'm working from that centre outwards, and I want that last petal to sort of come.
Oh, so addictive to watch.
And again, you can then start and work in between. So we're going to go and just fill a couple of those gaps in.
Okay. And that's, although you're trying to enable it to go in a certain direction, you've still got that element of the unknown.
There is, because it will travel wherever you put the neat alcohol. So to do this now and just push the ink, it doesn't actually go very far, and you've got quite that strength of colour. But by adding the actual alcohol, it's giving it a mode of transport kind of thing. And you can start and fill in some of those areas to make it look. And the idea is that it's supposed to look like a big flower when it's finished.
I can already see it.
Pushing these round, we just need a little bit more colour. So it's not a quick process. It's something that you need to take time with, and it is something that you may need to practice. Okay, but you can see how some of the petals are lighter, some of them are darker. We just want to fill in the centre there so that we've got a little bit dark, and I'm going to bring a little bit into this bit here. And as I say, I prefer to keep turning it rather than trying to work towards yourself. But you can see how that alcohol becomes the carrier for what you're doing.
It really does.
Okay, so you've got that illusion there. Now it doesn't take long to dry, but it will, while it's still shiny on the top, you can see areas there that you can see that it's still a little bit wet, because we've actually used quite a bit of the ink. It does need to stay to dry. So it usually takes about, I would say about 30 minutes or so for it to actually be completely dry. Okay. So I'm just going to make sure we put the lid on there so that there's no accidents.
So see, at that point, Jan, if it's still got that tack to it, could you put like little bits of gilding flakes or
you could,
something
or
like
glitter
that?
or anything like that you could drop into it, yeah. See, I didn't actually use the whole pipette of this. I said you only need a little bit, so I'm going to put the rest of it back in there out of the way so that we don't have any problems with that bit. And then I'll show you the one that I was working on at home. I've done a little bit more work on this one and taken it just that little bit further. You can see here how we've got that sort of flower shape coming on. So I'm just going to leave that one to dry, and I'm going to pop it on a piece of tissue so that it doesn't get on the desk there. And then to make it into a project, I wanted this to look a little bit like a flower in a photo frame. So what I've done is I've just made some background pieces that are actually going to be my frame. So again, our matte black card and our multi-purpose card, I've just made the back layer, the size, and again, I've worked up from the size that I wanted here. And then I've got a second matte layer that I'm going to create that sort of frame with. And again, I've got the good old foam on the back of here. I do use it quite a lot. As I say, I buy it in black and white, and it does make a nice sort of secure platform, especially if you're wanting something that's home decor that you want to, sort of be around for a little while.
And that's just your inexpensive foam that you'll find in the
It's just what they call
craft
funky
section,
foam, yeah, in a lot of your craft stores here in the UK. I would imagine that you can get something similar in the US. So again, I'm going to pop that in the centre there.
In my mind, I can already see where you're going with this, Jan. This is going to look absolutely epic.
Okay. Now I've just trimmed this down slightly. I just took a fraction off the edge because I wanted this to be the 5x7. So when we put this in here, we're going to have this print as if it's like a photo print that you've bought. So again, with this one, we can actually afford to come back to the dry glue this time. So I'm going to bring my tape pen back in. Works beautifully, even though I said it wasn't actually paper. I've even put some tape on. Look, I'm ahead of myself. Now this one, I didn't realise the majority of the paper is white on both sides. What I didn't realise is I'd taken the backing out of the actual packet, which has got a nice clear sheet for you to work on this side. And it wasn't until I turned it over to put this, I thought, oh, that's the actual, so you're getting almost like a freebie in there.
An extra. Yeah,
so I did actually put some tape on it ready. I'm more ahead of myself. I've been prepping these all week. You forget how much you've actually done when you
do, don't
when
you?
you put them together and move on to the next one. So again, I'm just going to lay this one in the centre here. So it's almost, you know, you can buy frames that look like this. The word I was looking for earlier, Craig, was print.
Oh, print.
You know, when you buy prints in frames.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is just hover over the top and try and get that, because my tape's going to grab. There we go. I think that's about right. So this one's completely dry now. And then just to finish off there, I've just brought some of my little pearls. You know how much I love my my pearls. So I've got some little white ones. And what I'm doing is just create a little cluster in the centre here. So again, I'm going to bring in the tacky glue for this job. All right, and just where we've got that concentration in the middle, I'm going to go with one in the centre. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I brought 7. And then I've got a magic tool somewhere. There we go. To pick those up. And these are just the little flat back pearls. And I just thought by creating this in the middle, it's really adding to that illusion that it is meant to be a flower. So these are just white flat back pearls, and they've got like an aurora finish on them. So I thought if you're hanging this as a print in a frame, they're going to catch the light when you've got it hung.
You're not even
you
finished.
could even make like a little stand, you know, to like you get photo frames that have the little stands on the back. So we've got that. And then just to finish it off, I've just brought a little tiny sentiment that I've got sort of in my stash. And they're all sort of like motivational ones. This one says, believe in yourself, which I think is a nice sentiment.
Yeah,
I'm just going to pop that on here.
To go with your artwork.
So again, another idea for those of you that have enjoyed having a play with the inks and using them in this way. As I say, apart from background, this is actually starting to control it more. And you can see there, you've got quite a striking design. If I turn that round for our Charlotte to have a little look at. I've not actually made any hanging. You know, you could put a ribbon hanging on it, or as I say, you could make one of those little arms that you'd have on the back of a photo frame. But I just think, you know, you could even probably do these to sell.
You could, yes, you could.
Because you've actually used that ink to make something, then, you know, they come under our angel policy of basically fill your boots. You know, you can do as many as you like. Imagine them in all the different colours that are in that 10 set of inks. And you could sort of, no two will be identical, so you could actually sell them as one of a kind, because you're never going to get exactly the same pattern. It will look similar, but to actually replicate it would be near on impossible. And you can see where this one's had the more intense ink and the more of the plain alcohol to just move it out. But yeah, just wanted to show you, and you've still got that little element of sheen to it as well. You're just catching the light there on occasion where it's there, look. Yeah? Yeah. And that's how it dries. That one's perfectly dry now. So yeah, just something a little bit different.
I was waiting to say a moment ago when you were doing those pearls, even before you'd finished, Jan, the comments already coming in. You know, we've got, wow, that's beautiful, that's gorgeous, that's so beautiful, stunningly beautiful. We've got, wow, that's stunning, absolutely gorgeous, absolutely stunning. I love some of Jan. So just to say a few of what you've been saying.
I do appreciate all that. It's like, it's my job. I know if we're asking, you know, we're showing you all these goodies to buy. It's nice to be able to show you some ideas that you can do with them, because we're all the same. I'm the same. I'm a crafter. Craig's a crafter. We buy stuff. We hoard stuff.
We do.
I have boxes of things that have never even been opened yet. And I know I can speak for all of us. We're all the same. I put myself in that same category. But if we can actually show you some ideas of what to do with them and encourage you to get them out. And I always say, have a play. Have a play. Even though I do this for a living, I don't consider it work. It is still having a play. And I know you look at it the same way, Craig, don't you? Yeah.
I do. You know, and I do say this for all of our shows, but you know, I say it, and it's not that I like to single Jan out between everyone else, but the things that Jan creates, the way she creates it, the way she explains it, there's a reason why you add these to your playlist. There's a couple of you, I'm going to read them out, that were saying you even added this show to your playlist even before Jan had started. Reason I'm saying that as well is because when you start to watch Jan, there'll be maybe a couple of things that you don't quite catch. For instance, Jan explained the ink that she was using, she explained alternatives to Yupo paper as well. So anything like that you can go back to and just see, right, don't have Yupo paper, but Jan said that I could use such and such or such and such. So always go back and have a little bit of a recap as well. I'm going to read a few of these out in a moment, but just wanted you to have a look at the re-inkers here. This was a 10-pack selection, all of them 30 mils in total. Now imagine doing exactly what Jan's just done 10 times. But with each of the inks, as Jan was saying, you're not going to get that same effect, that same look every single time. Every single one is going to be completely different. White card, black card, a little bit of silver matte that Jan used, sell them. You would be able to, no problem, make a nice little profit from them if you choose to do that. You've got that option with these 10 packs here, £40 or $50, or £32 platinum or $40. And you know what? A little bonus, because they can top up your classic pens as well. Then we've got Gilded Waxes. Now, just to keep in mind that the silver within this one is the silver that you're also going to get in the Showstopper collection, should you choose to go for them. So keep that one in mind. But this is your 5-pack, so you're going to get all 5. So you're going to get kind of like your silver, your 2 sort of golds, and your 2 sort of coppers. All the actual names are across on the website. $47.96 or $67.96. Platinum comes down to $38.37 or $54.37 for that one. There, that's your 5-pack of your Gilded Wax. Then your Tricolour Aqua pens. Now, once again, when it comes to your Floral Meadow, that is the same one that you are going to get in your Showstopper collection, so please keep that one in mind. However, you are going to get the 4-pack here. It's giving you 3 pens in each, so in total it's giving you 12 pens. However, each pen, you've got 3 different colours, so multitude of possibilities. £27.50 or $41.50. If you are platinum, that's going to come down to £22 or $33.20. Then we're going to have a look at our acrylic markers. Now, once again, that top left-hand corner, that's your jewel. That is the same ones you will get in your Showstopper, just in case you choose to go for both of them. However, that is your 4-pack of your aqua markers, 60 markers in total, £22 or $30. That's giving you a saving of 30%, £17.60 platinum price or $24 for you guys stateside. If you did happen to see myself and Zena at the 6 AM show on Hobby Maker the other day with them, you will have seen that we were wrecking the set behind us when it comes to our acrylic markers, and we're just finding anything that we could paint. Have to say though, as a viewer, you wouldn't see it, but when the backstage crew come along and start lifting stuff up, they're going to find flute glasses and plastic tumblers on the set, all decorated with acrylic markers. So that was just to give you a little insight as to the different mediums. As always, onto YouTube, type the collections, the pens in, and then you're going to find a multitude. And when I say multitude, I mean thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of ideas and inspiration from all of us on the team. Lots of other inks to go through, lots of incredible demos that we've got coming up from Jan. What we will do when we come back after this break, we will send some questions across to Jan, and then we'll go on to the next demonstration. So a lot of you have got baskets filled, which I'm not surprised. Good for you. Well done. You just need to check them out. So we'll be back in a minute.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
The one that was really funny, Ben. You did.
It was better than your I'm a gnome and I live in a caravan.
I am a gnome and I live in a caravan.
Can we clip that?
We'll do it. Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us. You give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafter's Companion is magical. There's magic here.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get your hands on the latest crafty must-haves. Leave the hard work to us while you shop from the comforts of your own living room. Head to the Crafters Companion website to see our full crafty range, or hit the Shop the Day button to see all the new and exciting products featuring on Crafters TV. Once you've filled your cart, leave it to us to get your crafty goodies to you in super quick time, so you can get on with being creative. Crafters Companion, making crafty shopping a breeze.
What makes Crafters TV so special is you guys.
It's really special because the experts are really experts. They're really skilled at what they do, and they want to make sure that the audience also improves on their skills.
Crafters TV is so special because you've got together a really sort of key group of people and people that are very passionate about the products.
Crafters TV is so special because it's a unique community that we have with each other, where we can learn and grow and communicate with each other.
Community, the family spirit, the education, everything to do with craft. We are all like-minded people who share a passion.
I love all the inspiration the demonstrators bring and all the knowledge for us out here.
What makes Crafters TV so special? 100% it's the interaction. No other crafting TV channel or show has the same interaction.
I love the community, I love chatting live, I think that's the best part. And it's gone beyond crafting because we've become friends.
It feels to me to be a really, really close relationship with our customers and viewers.
You guys make us feel like we're part of your family. I've never been on the show before, but one of my friends who I did meet from CCTV encouraged me, and I was on the craft along.
Massive team of people, and I think they've all got their role to play, and it just brings everything together. It allows us to do our job and just love it.
The people, obviously, the people not just here at Crafters Companion, but the viewers that watch us. I mean, everybody. We have this real magical essence about it.
Bye for now. Bye.
Gosh, you guys are already loving that first demonstration. If you're already saying that demonstration that Jan just done is going to be demo of the day, could be. If that is demo of the day, which I think it will be, I don't know what you've got planned yet, because when it comes to Jan's, I don't always look at what Jan's going to be doing because I like to have that wow. I was away to say, if that is demo of the day, I'm going to go out there and say it's demo of the week.
I need a star.
Johnny's just said...
I haven't got a star yet. I do need a star.
Right.
So...
oh no, I'm not in this Sunday, am I? Right, yeah. What I was away to say is demo of the week, although Johnny's just said you don't know what Jan's got coming up though later on tonight. So we'll quickly do this so we can go back to them. But yeah, I'm going to say demo. Becky, I love you to bits, but that is just incredible and so easy to do and so effective. Terry Anderson, would a laminated piece of white cardstock work instead of Yupo?
I haven't tried that. I think that's going to be a bit of a trial and error one. You're creating that non-porous surface with the laminate. In theory, in my head, it's saying yes, it should work, but I haven't actually tried it. I think that would be one that you'd perhaps need to experiment with a little tiny bit of ink and see how it behaved on top of the laminate. But you're creating that smooth, shiny surface, and that's what you want. As I say, the next demo we're going to do with the multi-purpose cardstock, and I'll explain the reasons why we need the different cardstocks for the different types of inks. But as long as it's non-porous, as I say, my head's telling me that should work in theory. I might have to have a try with that one. You never know, if I come back with another class, we might do it on something like that.
Yeah, like you say, UPO paper to photo glossy paper to laminated
it
sheet.
sounds feasible, doesn't it? Yeah.
Don't see why not.
Just be careful with it's whether you'd need to apply any heat to it. I try not to apply heat to the alcohol inks. You can heat dry them with a heat tool, but I prefer to let them dry naturally because, again, you get that warping. So, again, if you've got a laminate piece, well, I suppose it goes through the laminator, so it's going to have a certain amount of heat to it, isn't it? Yeah. Have a play, let us know. Let us know, yeah.
Give it a shot. And as you said within the demonstrations, really, not quite seconds to dry, but it doesn't take that long at all.
I'd say about 30 seconds. All you're waiting for, basically, and it's exactly the same when you're doing the alcohol colouring. You've heard us say many times, whether I've done it, Craig's done it, Leanne's done it, any of the team's done it, when you've done alcohol colouring with pens, leave it a little while because it's basically the alcohol that has to evaporate. And that's all that's happening with what I've just done. It's laid on the surface of that non-porous UPO paper. So what we need is for the colour to stay where it is and the alcohol actually evaporates, hence the ventilated room. That's why we explained that it needs to have that ventilation so that those fumes can escape. If you're in a very small room, those fumes can very quickly build up and you don't want to be inhaling it. So that's what all that sequence is about. But I would say probably 30 seconds, no more than a minute at all. Yeah. It does dry much, much quicker than you think because it is just that evaporation process. That's why I said don't leave the lid off the bottles because it will start. Same as with your pens, don't leave your lids off your pens for too long because it does start to evaporate, and then that just leave you the colour. Yeah.
No, you don't want that, do you? Don't want to waste your money. Kathy on Facebook is saying, did Jan say it wasn't rubbing alcohol?
It is, it's the same.
It's the same.
Yeah, it comes under the name isopropyl. What I'll do is exactly what I did last time. For those of you that are interested, if I hold it here and our Charlotte gets a shot for us, you can take a screenshot. And you can get it, if you just type isopropyl alcohol into a search engine, it comes up straight away. But it does actually say on it here that it's rubbing alcohol. So if you have rubbing alcohol at home already, that's a different format, then that should work with it. But if you want to just screenshot that so that you know what you're looking for. Okay?
Perfect.
Thank you, Charlotte.
And then one last one for now, not necessarily about alcohol inks or that, Jan, but I'll answer it anyway because it's about colouring. Tim C on YouTube is saying, I have the Aquatints 30ml pot, unsure how best to use them. At present, I'm doing calligraphy for my cards, but was wondering any other uses.
Right. Actually, I'll cover that with the next demo because they're very similar to what we're going to use next in sort of the fact that they're a water-based ink. Okay, perfect. So I don't know, do you want to have a look at those, Craig?
We'll quickly go.
And then when I talk about these in the demo, I'll compare them to the Aquatints,
Perfect, excellent. Yep. Rightio. We've got our Cosmic Shimmer, so these are our pigment stains, our intense pigment stains. Now these are all individually priced and they're all in the 3 for 2, £2.99 each or $4.49. Platinum, remember as well, when it comes to platinum prices, Club Inspire, that is then added onto everything. Cartloads, sale shows, clearance, third parties, Cosmic Shimmer, you'll still always get your Platinum or your Club Inspire, $2.39 or $3.59 each. So remember, these are all individual. So within this one here, the first one, we have got Stormy Grey. So we've got Stormy Grey. We have then got our Blue Violet. So there's your Stormy Grey. Remember, these are all the same price, all 19 mils in total. You've then got your Blue Violet. All once again 3 for 2. We've then got our Citrus Lime. So that is the one that you'll also get within the Showstopper collection. So just bear that one in mind. If you do duplicate though, doesn't matter, you've got an extra, you can still do lots of other inky techniques. That was inky and techniques together. You could do
Tinky, I thought. I've not heard of that one.
Yeah, tinky. It means something else in Scotland. Maybe it means the same here, I don't know. We've got our, so that one there being our Citrus Lime. What was a way to say as well, that lovely yellow tone to it, so you'll be able to use it and mix it with other blending. We've then got Bluebell as well, all the same price, $2.99, $4.49. We've got Forest Green, also all of them on the 3 for 2. You will find other Cosmic Shimmer items in the 3 for 2, and you can mix and match if you so wish. And then we've got Regal Purple. So Regal Purple, once again, all $2.99 or $4.49, all part of the 3 for 2. But if you are platinum, they are all going to come down to $2.39 or $3.59. We will look at other Cosmic Shimmer items throughout the show. However, there is still more across on the website that we won't even get a chance to show within Masterclass. Check out the website, go across to shop the day as well, but I would still just go across into the Cosmic Shimmer sections on the website, and you will find everything there from Cosmic Shimmer, and maybe you'll see an additional 3 for 2 items that you didn't spot in Shop the Day, so keep that one in mind. Right, questions done for now, so over to you.
So we're going to use those, Craig, and I have actually got 2 of the colours out of that set this time. So I've actually chosen the Bluebell and the Forest Green. So we've got Bluebell is a beautiful teal colour, which after the pink is my next favourite colour. And then Forest Green is that lovely jade green. They're really bright. Now the clue with these, the clue's there in the title, it says intense, and it is. This is a water-based product. So I deliberately did the alcohol one first, because I've said this before, where the alcohol is more of a standalone. It doesn't really like playing with other products.
Right.
The alcohol base is a solvent base, and it's there to provide colour. Whereas when you've got a watercolour medium, they will all play nicely together. So for example, within this set, you can mix the colours. You can use them as a paint, you can pop a little drop out, you could take your paintbrush and just have it damp, and you could pick it up and actually paint with them. Last time I demonstrated these, I actually dropped these into the shaving foam, and we did that lovely reveal with the shaving foam technique. We're going to do something different. I have got my foam with me, do something different with that later in the show tonight. What I'm going to do with these is just simply make a background with them tonight, because I think sometimes we sort of overlook the obvious in that this is a colouring medium, it's an ink, and it's a water base. Now it has a very high pigmentation, so the colour is really rich. You don't need a lot of it at all, which is where it gets its name from, the intense pigment stains. Now just to come back to the question about the aqua tints, Craig, our aqua tints are pretty much the same makeup as these, but there isn't as much pigment in them, so you'll get more of a translucent colour than an intense colour. So you could do the same techniques as what I'm going to do here. You could use the aqua tints in the shaving foam, which we're going to come to in the next demo after this one, and any of the water-based techniques you can do with those aqua tints. So they're great for making backgrounds, they're great for blending. You can flick the water at them and move the ink around. You know, you can sort of then die cut into that. You can stamp all over it. So all the water, anything that's got a water base in it, you've got much more of a scope not only to do stuff with, but to start mixing and matching. So these are great for taking that mixed media onto sort of that little bit more messy level where you start with texture pastes and things like that. If you've got any plain texture paste, or even maybe sort of a paler colour, you can just add a little drop of this to actually colour your texture paste. Mix it all in. I just tend to use my palette knife, mix it all together, and then you can drag that through stencils and things. So any of these colours, anything that's got that water base, the alcohol ink doesn't travel. So you saw that I had to put the neat alcohol down to make it move, otherwise it just sits where it is. These, I'll show you now, are actually going to cover my piece of card, basically just with a few little drops. So anything that's got a water base to it, that's then added any kind of pigmentation or dye, then you're good to sort of get them all out and have a play with them together. So what we're going to do with this time is we're just going to make a background this time, because last time I did the background with the alcohol inks. So what I wanted to try and show you tonight is that with the products that you may have bought last time, or that you might be interested in tonight, there's a lot of mixing and matching going on with the techniques. So last time we made a background with the alcohol inks, and like I said, I know one or two of you have been having a play with that. Tonight we're just going to use these. Now I'm working on my craft sheet again. I do prefer the craft sheet when I'm doing these sort of messy techniques. And I'm just going to see if I can get rid of that. I can just see a little bit of pink hiding on there, which I want to just move off there because I don't want to contaminate, because these two colours, they're great if you're wanting to do like an underwater theme or something like that. So I've got the bluebell first, and again, these have got a lovely little dropper built into it, into the system. So you don't need an extra pipette or anything for these. The idea is that when you lift it up and hold it, you can see it's upside down, nothing's coming out.
Oh, neither is.
So you literally just need to squeeze gently, and I'm just going to pop maybe 3 or 4 drops down onto my sheet. And then I'm going to do the same with the forest green. Now on the sheet, they won't look a lot different. I said there's no need to shake. Anything that doesn't have an extra medium in, there's no need to shake. So if it hasn't got glitter in, or if it doesn't have mica in or anything like that, you'll not find that little mixer ball. And if it's got a mixer ball in it, then that's usually a clue that it needs a shake to get it agitated and get it all mixed up. So again, same with this one. Hold it upside down. Nothing actually comes out of these, so they're quite safe to use. And then just that little squeeze. And as I say, it will look very similar on the craft sheet, but just wait while we have a play with it. And then because it's water-based, we can add some extra water. So again, I've just got tap water in my spritzer bottle, and I'm just going to add some water.
Okay.
And then what I want to do, what I'm going to do is dip the card in like you've seen us do with the inks before, but I'm just going to get splodges of ink. So I'm just going to take any tool that you've got handy and just agitate it a little bit. All right, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. You want to get rid of those sort of set blobs, because wherever you've got a large blob of ink, you're going to get a large patch of colour, okay? Doesn't have to be perfect. You're not aiming for any particular design. I have still got 1 or 2 large areas. And then this is actually the smooth multi-purpose card. You could do this technique with the watercolour card as well. And I'm just very, very lightly, I'm not going to do it very heavy, but just very lightly spritz the card as well, so that I've got a wet medium going into a wet. It'll allow this to travel better on the card. So again, I'm just going to pop it in. And all I'm going to do is pick, and just look at this is where you get the intense colour from. Just really, really intense stain. And then what I'm going to do is just dry what I've already done and just heat set that. Because if I go back into that same pool of ink, we're eventually going to start mixing them together and getting really muddy with them. So if you dry what's already there, and you can see how you can move it about. If you've got an area that's quite sort of wet, this is where you get those lovely watermarks in it. Can you see how that's created that sort of edge on it now?
It has,
along
isn't
here
it?
where you've got that, it's sort of pushing it about. And this is why I like playing with this kind of thing. And then I'm going to go back in again. So I'm just going to re-spritz that bottom area, because I've just literally taken the moisture off it with the heat tool. And then we're going to go back in this way. And again, all I'm doing is just making contact with the actual craft sheet. And again, I can't explain just how intense these are. Now, if you did this with your aqua tints, you would get the same technique, but it would be much more translucent in colour, because there's not as high amount of pigment or dye in the aqua tints, but you could still do the same technique. So again, just drying that layer off, and then I'm just going to keep going. I'm not going to bother so much about the water now, but I want to try and get the whole card. And again, you can move it about. So we've got all that lovely ink now on the side. If I blow this with, you see how it's moving it onto the...
it off, doesn't it?
So then this will actually work over the top of what we've already got. It's not soaking in. It's actually going to create patterns on the top. And I can spend hours just playing with the different colours and making the backgrounds. And again, that little bit at the bottom, I'm trying not to get it on me, because as I say, I usually wear my apron when I'm doing anything like this. So again, I'm not too worried if there are white space on there, but I want to try and get as much of it covered. And you can start and go back over the top. Where this area is dry now at the bottom, I can actually pick up some of those dots that are left, and it'll go back over the top. So I'm going to move that out of the way, but the intensity of that pigment, as I say, you know, there's a clue in the title. They've called them intense pigment stains for a reason. So make sure it's dry, that's step number 1. And then these will behave just like anything that's a water base is going to behave like you've seen us do with the inks. So again, I'm going to bring in my little splatter brush. I'll clean that in a second. Just pop some water down again. Bring in the little brush. And if you don't have one of these, you can do it with an ordinary paintbrush. It doesn't have to be a fan brush. You can do this with a paintbrush. Okay, and again. And this will actually start and move that ink again. So anything's got a water base, it's going to react with water. So I'm just going to mop that up. The longer you leave it, the more of a reaction you'll get. We don't often get as long as I would like here in the studio. At home, I would tend to leave that a wee bit longer. Okay. And then I'm just going to grab that piece of kitchen paper again. And you can actually see, again, you can just see in areas where it's starting to move that ink about and push. So you get these gorgeous little starbursts and droplets, you can see them here, where it's moved that ink out of the way. It's fantastic how it works. As I said, I think there's a little bit of alchemy involved. And then if you blot it, it'll lift off the water and it'll lift the ink away with it. So again, just pulling that away, you can see you've got that gorgeous reaction on there. And then I wanted to add a bit more to it, but I'm going to do that after the next step, because this just reminded me of sort of, you know, that sort of underwater sea. So again, I'm going to mix it in with those lovely textured embossing foil, and we just happen to have one that's called Gentle Waves. So we've got ocean, we've got waves.
Works so
I'm in my happy place. So I've literally cut this so that it will fit inside here. I'm not too worried if it's not bone dry. As I say, when you're embossing, if your card is slightly, and I mean damp, not wet, you will get a really nice crisp emboss. If it's really wet, what you don't want is water squeezing out and getting into the inside of your machine there. So just going to pass that through the Gemini and get some of that embossing on there. And then again, I've brought along some of our own ink. I like to mix and match the products, you know, whereas that's the Cosmic Shimmer product, doesn't mean it's not going to play with our own products. Our inks are water-based. Anything that's water-based, as I say, you're going to get that nice friendly play. So again, take this out and we'll see if we can pick, yeah, you can see it there, can't you?
You can see it.
And it's just added another element. And this mixed media, this is what mixed media is about. It's about creating those layers of interest. Again, if I flip it over, you can see that design in all its glory there. Absolutely gorgeous. Perfect if you're wanting to do underwater. I am not actually going to do an underwater with this one, but it just reminded me of that. And then I've taken the pigment ink again. This is the Midnight Blue, so it's a little bit darker than what I've got on here. And I'm going to take one of my round blenders, just load up that applicator tool, take off any excess so that we don't want a big blob on here, and then I'm just going to come round and just darken that edge just to so it just focuses everything into the center of your design then. So just round that edge, it's just making sort of like a shadow around the edge. Now you can do this with a black ink, but obviously with these being those blue tones, blues and greens, I thought the blue would look nice with it.
Yeah, it works really, really well.
And I'm going to work with some blue card to matte and layer as well. So now you can, if you want, drag this over the top to actually highlight the embossing, but I've not finished yet. We're going to add another layer of interest. So let me just get rid of the blue. Otherwise, I'm trying my best. I'm not covered in ink yet. Usually in these shows, I'm the same colour as the projects, but...
And it's as you said there, what you're doing here is mixed media. I think some people think of mixed media as canvases, material, gesso, all these dry brushing, and which it is.
It can be. It can be. I love doing that kind of work, but there would be no point in me bringing that to you here at Crafters TV if we can't give you the products.
No.
So I know our Leanne is working on developing our mixed media range, and I'm really looking forward to see what she brings out this year. So we're slowly, you know, making that sort of collection bigger. But yeah, to bring the canvas, we don't sell the canvases, you know, to bring all the bits that go with it. That's taking it, that's a slightly different area. All I want to do is make this accessible to our paper crafters out there because it's so much fun. You know, this could easily be a piece of pattern paper from a pad.
Of course it could.
And if that's where you're at with your crafting, there is nothing wrong with that. I get enjoyment out of making these backgrounds. And again, you know, you'd struggle to replicate this. If you did exactly the same technique again, you'd struggle to get the same kind of effect, because the ink would go in different places, the splatters would go in different places. What I'm going to bring in next is our acrylic paint markers. Now, Craig was just saying they was having fun looking at what surfaces these will go onto, and it does go into a little bit of detail on the back about, again, they want to go onto a non-porous surface. So not only will they work on your cardstock, they'll work on things like MDF, they'll work on glass, on acrylic, that kind of thing. I know I've seen some lovely samples where the design team have literally gone straight onto glasswork and decorated the glass. One of the favourites is decorating the pebbles. That's a big thing here in the UK, where you decorate them and leave them out for people to find. But I like to use these in addition to my my layering. So I'm going to take the gold one this time. The one I did at home I've used white on, but I'm going to bring gold in this time. Again, you can hear that mixable in this one, which means that it's got a little bit more than just water in. It's got that metallic element. Now, your metallic element is usually something like mica to give you the metallic. So again, you can just hear that little ball to mix it. Make sure it's all mixed together. And then what I'm going to do, I just want a piece of, we'll do it on there. I just want to start this going so that I've got some of the ink flowing. And then I'm literally going to bring in, what shall we use? That probably would work. And what I want to do is, we need to make sure it's actually, I don't know how much ink's actually left in this one. This is the one from the studio. It might not be wet enough. Now, it's not coming out of there. Let me try one of the other colours. It depends how much ink's left in them. I didn't bring mine with me from home, otherwise I'd have used, as I say, I used the white one. And I like using the white one if you're making like a night sky.
Yeah.
But you do need them to still be quite juicy. That one looks as if it's got a little bit more in it. But what you can do is get it to, here we go, to sort of splatter on there. So again, it's bringing in another layer of interest. So it doesn't have to be anything fancy, and it's only very, very light, but it's just bringing in an extra sort of layer of interest on there. So it's very, very, oops, we've now got a big blob as well. That'll have to be the main star, or in wherever we are. Okay, let's get rid of those bits so that we don't get stuck in those.
But the thing is, maybe you've got no intention to colour or draw on glass or wood or pebbles, but you love that splattered effect. Until a couple of months ago, when me and Jan were chatting about something that I had made and posted on social media, and Jan, it was, I had white gesso mixed with a bit of water.
Yeah, that will work.
And it does work, but I never thought, and it wasn't until having the conversation with Jan, we're talking about the acrylic markers, and it was you that said to me, you could also do the splatters with your acrylic markers, just on a hard surface, such as a brush or that.
Yeah.
So if you love that effect, get these markers, and you can be doing that.
So we've sort of got our background there with so much interest in there. You know, it could be the inside of a cave. As I say, it could be an underwater scene if you've got sort of like mermaid stamps or seahorses, something like that. You could create an underwater scene. It could be like an astrology sort of thing. It could be space. You know, you sort of can take it wherever you want. I'm just going to use it as a plain background. And what I've done is the one that I did at home, I've done pretty much the same thing there. And I've just matted it on some of our gold satin mirror card there, which is why I was trying to get the gold on it for you, just to match. And then what I've done is I've just made my card blank, and I've brought that blue back in just to you know, to sort of echo that bit of blue ink that we put around the edge. So you can see the mats and layers there. Really simple. I've kept the actual card bases really straightforward tonight. We do a lot of shows where we show you lots of different design of cards, but I wanted to focus on the actual background techniques. So the cards themselves are fairly straightforward. I've just done a little bit of matting and layering on an ordinary style card. But again, you know, you could chop these up. If you were making a stepper card, you could cut it in half and use the main pit for the main part of your stepper, cut your strips to fit the edge of it, possibly work on a slightly bigger piece so that you've got plenty of it. If you're wanting to decorate a box, you know, use it on a bigger piece of card, use the same technique, cut it up into the sizes that you need. My gold cardstock's very precious. So out comes the middle there so that I've got it for use with something else.
Like your satin card?
Yes,
yeah.
I love it. So I think it's probably the one that I use most of all, to be honest. The gold satin out of the luxury card packs. I keep asking Leanne if she'll do it just in a pack on its own.
I think so many of us would love that.
Yep.
I know I would.
And then again, you can add ribbon to it. As I say, mixing those mediums is what the mixed media is all about. So you could put ribbon round it. You saw, if you were watching earlier on Wake Up Call, we added some little beads to one of the designs. All I've done this time is just cut a couple of scraps of the gold card. And I actually just want to bring these in to add a little bit more detail. So I've just cut them with my guillotine and I've popped some tape on the back. And they're a little bit longer, so I just need to trim these when we've got them in place. Okay. But I'll take it down to the edge of the gold there, and I'm just going to run these parallel as a decoration, and then I just need to trim that parallel with the top of the card, almost close, but not close enough.
Such a great use of all these little strips you've got there.
Just the bits, you know, that would technically be the waist, and then the next one I've done a wee bit thinner. All right, and if you're worried about this, what I tend to do is keep the bulk of the card in the guillotine and cut the slivers off this side. So don't try and get this little tiny bit under your finger guard in your guillotine. You'll never manage it. Use the bigger piece and just cut the slivers off that side so that you're getting these little tiny thin strips. So again, we'll take, and I just happen to have, well, I say I'm just happen, I actually made them the size of my red line tape. So I've got like the 1/8 of an inch and the 1/4 of an inch there so that I could use the tape on the back of them. I find it's the easiest way, especially with the nice satin finishes rather than using a wet cardstock. And again, I'm just going to line these up so that we've got a couple of extra detail there. I don't know why I left them longer. I think it's because they came off the scrap piece. So that's going to be my, my decoration there. And then I've just stamped out a sentiment. Wouldn't be a Jan design, would it, without the pearls on? Nope. And I've actually put some foam pads on the back of this one. But again, you know, if you watched me before, you know where I'm at with these. If it's going on to anything other than cardstock, I usually add a little bit of wet glue just to make sure that that's going to soak into what we've done here and get a nice sort of adhesion there. And then I wanted something up here, and I spent a long time. It wasn't a flowery card in my mind. I got the buttons out, they didn't look right. So what I've done is I've used the same die, and this is one of our nesting dies. It's the Moroccan tile stitch nesting die, and I've just used the little tiniest one of those. And I thought that actually links it and gives you that sort of offset there. So I'm just going to keep them flat. And I've cut them a couple of times and stuck them together so that you've got something that's a little bit more substantial. And I'm just going to pop these on as extra embellishments. So again, you know, this could actually be quite a masculine one when it's finished, if you wished. Again, change the colours and you've got a completely different design. Okay, a bit too much glue there, Jan, less is more. Take my own advice. There we go. And again, if we turn you that one round, you've got that gorgeous background doing all the talking. That's the bit that we want to look at. It is a matte finish on those stains. If you wanted it to have a little bit more substance to it, wait while it's dried and then maybe add something like our spray and sparkle. Put the glitter over the top of it and give it a little bit of a sheen. It could be that you use the spray and shine, which is like the varnish, which again would give it a nice sheen. So if you don't want that matte finish on it, but I just thought with the sheen on the card, I like the matte finish on the background.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a different way to use them. As I say, if it's water-based, any of the techniques that we do with regards to water-based, like I say, last time we did these in the shaving foam and we did that background with the shaving foam. This time I've used them direct to the cardstock.
Can I just say as well, it usually goes without saying, but the cameras, the screens does not do the colour justice.
David does
the colour that I can see.
It really is intense, isn't it?
Really
yeah,
is.
they're called intense pigment for a reason. Yeah, they really are bold colours. Yeah.
because that whole lot, I was watching my screen, and then when I looked over to Jan and she was holding it up, and I was like, gosh, yeah. That really is at this bit of a distance as well. What can I say that you guys aren't already saying within the comments? We will go through them again. We've got another couple of questions that we'll do just shortly. But let's have a look at the acrylic, well, that was the acrylic paint markers that Jan used, the white one. But this one here, these are your intense pigment stains. This one is the Regal Purple. All of these are 19mm. There are also all $2.99 or $4.49, and they are all also part of a 3 for 2. So you've got your Regal Purple. You've also got Storm Grey as well. You've then got your Blue Violet, and then we've got Bluebell, all $2.39 platinum or $3.59 platinum. Citrus Lime. We've got Forest Green. So those were the ones that you can get your hands on, all individually, all part of that 3 for 2. So I did say earlier on as well, there's other ranges of Spectrum Noir, Cosmic Shimmer that are 3 for 2. You can mix and match as well. We'll show you a couple of things actually just shortly, so keep that in mind. Reason I said Spectrum Noir is because we're going to have a look at the boards when it comes to the acrylic markers. So with these ones, Jan was using the white one there for the little dots. The Showstopper collection, you've got that dual set. The dual set is part of this 4-pack. So £22.30 or your platinum price of $17.60 or $24, you're going to get all 4 sets. Now within each set, you're going to get 4 pens, 4 different colours. So that gives you 16 markers. You've got your essential. So you have got your silver, you've got your gold, you've got your black, and you've also got your white as well. So these, once again, are all your acrylic paint markers. You've got one of my favourites, the pastel. You've got your rose, you've got your aqua, you've got your lime, you've also got your lilac as well. You've then got your brights. Now they consist of your red, your yellow, your green and your blue. And then last but by no means least, this is the dual set. This is the one that you do get within your Showstopper. That one is your pink, your orange, your purple and your violet. So all 4 of them are the ones that you're going to be getting within this acrylic paint marker collection. 16 markers in total, 16 different colours in total, saving of 30% on that today's price, which is £22.30. But if you are platinum, then it's going to come down to $17.60 or $24. All loving what you've just done there, Jan. Tess, Carol, Crafting Queen, Caroline, Beth, we've got Laura, we've got Roseanne, Susan, Rhonda. We've also got Linda, Dance with Pam, all saying how phenomenal that is, how gorgeous it looks. Right, so Heidi, it's kind of like a two-way question here. Hi, Jan. Here in the US, our isopropanol alcohol comes in different strengths. The higher the number, the better the ink moves. Is that the case? So I know Jan's just having a look at the strength.
I'm just having a look because we just literally order it. It's 99.9% alcohol.
So just the high percent then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is pretty much, you know, sort of just alcohol.
Yeah, just that
in its strongest form. As to whether the different strengths would affect how it moves, I don't think it would. It's just giving it a carrier, basically, because the alcohol ink wants to dry pretty much as soon as it hits the surface. As I say, it behaves completely differently to a water-based medium. So the fact that it's wanting to dry, just by using this, it's just giving it that medium to carry it over the cardstock. So I would think any strength would work.
Perfect.
We've only ever, as I say, ours, when we pop it in over here in the UK, it's usually this one that comes up.
Yeah.
This is exactly the same as what I've got at home. This is the studio bottle. Yeah.
Perfect. And then also asking as well, so this is to do with the alcohol technique you done earlier with the UPO. Just saying, also, can you use the back side of photo paper, not the shiny side? It's a less expensive way to play with the alcohol because UPO is pretty pricey.
I'm fairly certain that the reverse side of it would be porous, in which case the alcohol will just soak into it. You'll not get the movement. The whole idea is that it needs to sit on top of that surface, which is why we need that shiny coated finish. Doesn't have to be massively shiny, it doesn't have to be gloss paper, it can just be that satin sheen, but it needs to be a non-porous finish on it. I'm fairly certain that most photo papers are actually porous on the reverse of it. Now, if you've got one that's got the coating on either side, then yeah, it should work on both sides. But I know over here, I've got packs of photo paper and the reverse of them is not the same as the front.
No, I'm exactly the same, Jan, with the ones that I get. Yeah, they've all got that mat on the back. Last one for now, Crafting Queen on YouTube is saying, "Hi Jan, can I ask, Ari, the non-slip craft mat you're using, is it that it's non-slip for items / the media you're putting onto it, instead of it being a non-slip on the surface it's laid onto, as mine moves about on my table?"
Yeah, mine's actually moving about on my glass mat, and it's also moving about on the desk there, so it's not non-slip on the reverse of it. I suppose it depends what you're putting on it, to be honest. Doesn't it? It's like, if you've put a stamp on it, obviously it's not going to move about. But if I put, you know, something that it's not going to, it's not sticky as such.
No.
But then, you know, having said that, mine's maybe not a good example because it's been in and out of the washing up bowl so many times that if it did have any kind of sticky on the back, it's probably long gone. Because sometimes it just gets a wash in the sink because it gets so dirty.
I think when it comes to our mats as well, when we say non-stick, I think that's more meaning as well, if any of the adhesive dries onto it, it doesn't stick to it, as in it peels off.
No, it's almost like a silicone property to it, isn't it? Yeah, so if you, like Craig says, if the glue dries, you can literally just peel it off the top. It's got that non-porous surface on it, but I don't think it means that it's supposed to stick to your surface. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for that one. And our Susie is just saying the US also sells a 70% isopropylene alcohol. So just to let you know as well. So here in the UK, ours, what was that, 99%?
99.9, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of alcohol within that one when it comes to the technique basis of that one. Rightio. Let's have a look. Pearlescent inks. So these ones here are from Cosmic Shimmer. These are also on the 3 for 2. Now, although these are different to what we showed you before, you can mix and match the 3 for 2 if you want. Pearlescent watercolour inks. Now, we've got the Red Sunset. So I'll start with the Red Sunset, and then we'll just go in with whichever one I take next. So we've got, because it's literally a mix and match, we've then got our Red Sunset. We've also then got our, which is, if I can find the colour, we've got Ray of Sunshine as well. So Ray of Sunshine. We've then also got our Spruce Green as well. So we've got Spruce Green. All of these $4.29 or $7.99 each. We've got Cerulean Blue as well. We've also got our Holly Green. We've then got our Radiant Orchid as well. So there we go. That's the ones that we've got. All of these are 20 mils in total. As I said a moment ago, £4.25 or $7.99. Also on that 3 for the price of 2. You will once again find other items that are 3 for 2. You can mix and match. £3.40 is a platinum or $6.39. Although they're Cosmic Shimmer, still head across onto Shop the Day. You're going to find all these items there, but you can also have a look in the Cosmic Shimmer section of the website as well, .co.uk.com or .eu. What can we do with these now, Jan?
Right, so again, we're just sort of mixing and matching those demos. So last time I was here, I did that shaving foam technique with the pigment stains that we've just used. So tonight I thought we'd swap it out and you're going to use the pearlescent inks in the shaving foam, but I'm also going to change the medium that we're going to work onto. Last time we went onto card, this time I'm actually going to put it onto vellum. Okay. So I've just got some plain vellum here, which I buy in a pack of 10. I think it is. It's not actually our brand, this. It's one that I've had in the cupboard for a long, long time. But these, again, water-based mediums. So they're all in that same family where they're going to play together. Now, watercolour ink is what it says. The word pearlescent on the bottom there means that it's got something in it to make it pearlescent. So again, you've got that little mixer ball in there. So anything that's got that mixer ball in needs a really good shake. I'm going to show you the bottom of the blue one, and you can actually see that mica that's settled in the bottom of the bottle. So the top part here is just going to be a translucent ink. So by shaking them, we're going to get that lovely swirly sort of effect of the colour here, where you're getting that all that lovely mica floating round in it. So again, these do want a really good vigorous shake before you use them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put some shaving foam. I've just brought my, it's just a box lid that I use for this technique. You don't actually need a lot of shaving foam. A lot of it depends on the size of the card that you're going to work on. Now, if I was doing this onto cardstock like I did last time, you can use either the smooth multi-purpose card, or you can use the watercolour card. So I'm just going to make sure that it looks really glittery in the bottom now, instead of that sort of intense part of the mica. You can see all that glitter moving around in the suspension now. So again, cheap as chips. You don't need any fancy shaving foam. Just buy the supermarket brands. It doesn't have to be anything fancy at all. And then I'm literally just going to put, oh dear.
Ooh.
There.
And it has to be foam, not the gel.
Yes, it does need to be foam. Yeah, there we go. I think it was objecting to being in my bag all day then. So there's probably way more than what I need there. I always end up with too much of it. And then I'm just going to flatten it down a wee bit. Tend to use my palette knife. If anything that you've got lying around, you could use a ruler, you know, whatever you've got lying around, just to give it sort of like it's almost like icing a cake, isn't it? It's like putting the meringue on top of a pie. Please don't eat it.
Yeah, no, don't.
Yeah, please don't eat it there. So I'm just going to pop that on the side there while I grab...
Get the blowtorch out, give it a like crisp on the edge. A little bit tart lemon underneath.
There we go. Just make sure everything's clean as we go along. And then all I'm going to do this time, again, these have got a little tiny, if you look at the top of the bottle here, there's a piece here that actually pushes in. So again, they've got a pipette inside. They've thought this through. And by depressing the top, it fills the pipette inside. And again, to press it again is now going to release those little droplets of ink.
Johnny was impressed with that.
It's all been thought through, hasn't it? It's clever stuff. So again, we don't need masses of it. I've only done that once. I've only squeezed that pipette once. And again, I'm going to pop some of the blue. So I've got Radiant Orchid, and I've got your favourite, Craig.
Oh,
I've got Cerulean Blue there.
That's how you say it.
This is
Johnny can't even say it now.
Gorgeous colour.
It is. Cerulean.
Cerulean. I don't know, I might not be saying it right. That's what I've always called it. Cerulean Blue. Okay, and then you need some kind of implement. Mine's usually my pokey tool for this. Again, we want to agitate. If you pop your cardstock in now, it's just going to lift up the blobs of ink. If that's what you're looking for, go for it. We're actually going to swirl it now, a little bit like you were doing icing on top of a vanilla slice or something like that. So I'm just going to drag my pokey tool through those colours. Now, you don't want to do this too much. It's knowing when to stop, because it's quite therapeutic. But if you carry on indefinitely, you're going to end up making mud.
Yeah.
So again, I'm just going for those larger areas and breaking them up a little bit, dragging some of the blue into the pink and vice versa. And then, as I say, it's knowing when you've done enough, really. That's probably enough, Jan. Just step away. Okay. And then, whereas last time I brought a piece of our multi-purpose card and went down into the ink, this time we're actually going to use the vellum. All right, so again, exactly the same technique. We're just going to pop it in and make contact all over there with the foam. So just gently, you don't want to submerge it into the foam, but you do want to make contact with that foam all over your piece of card or vellum, whatever you're going to use. And you can see the idea we're going to get here. You don't see this with the card, so it's always a bit of a reveal when we take it out, but you can see where this is heading, and you've got that gorgeous pearlescent aspect to it as well. So when you're ready, we're just going to lift that out of the foam here. Peel it back, and it does tend to curl a wee bit with it being vellum because it's only thin. Don't worry about that, just get it down onto a surface. I've got my mat there again at the ready, and then another implement. So I've got my ruler at the ready this time, and you're going to start from one end and literally take the ruler across it and get rid of that excess foam. Okay, and then I'm going to bring it back this way just to get that excess off the bottom. All right, so we'll leave all that for later. Take this away from the messy bit, and I'm just going to quickly pop round the sides of there. Now it does dampen it a little bit, but not sufficient. Again, you know, your vellum is non-porous, so it's not actually going to wet it through. But if I bring the white card in now, you can see the pattern, but not only the pattern. If we tilt it, look at that pearlescent
I'm so going to be doing this.
Yeah, so you've got all that lovely shimmer in there. It's not 100% dry yet. It would, again, it takes a few seconds to dry, not long. But you've got all that gorgeous mica that's come through those pearlescent inks. And again, it just makes, I think the vellum's quite sort of ethereal looking. It looks like a waterfall, doesn't it? It does. So again, depending on what you put it on. So, you know, when we had it over the brown, you can see a different aspect of it. I like to actually put the vellum, when I've done anything like this, over the white so that you can see the actual detail and the colour comes through better on there. So again, I've done one of these at home and I've just stamped onto it ready for my project. So this is the same one. Well, not the same. As I say, this is another one that is hard to get exactly the same. But you can see where we've gone with that there. I've got those same two colours in there. We've got that lovely pearlescent finish on that one again. You can just see where the light's picking up that lovely shimmer on it. And then I've stamped over the top of it with my, I prefer to use my StazOn ink for the stamping onto the vellum. And again, we've gone over the top of the pearlescent ink. So I've just put that into my stamping platform, stamp the sentiment, which could be whatever you want it to say. And then we're going to use these again to make a project. So this time I've brought the bits and pieces just to make a gift box, you know, because it doesn't always have to be a card.
No, that's very true.
So we had a look through the old stash and pulled out some cardstock, you know, that matched one of the colours. And I've gone for the blue this time. And I'm going to put the blue layer down first as my matte layer. And then I want to actually pop the vellum over the white. So I've just cut a white layer that's slightly smaller again. Again, I could have cut the centre out of here. If you're wanting to be a bit more frugal, take the centre out of the layers beneath or die cut something out of them, you know, cut another matte layer out from underneath so that you're not wasting your cardstock. So that one's slightly smaller than where I want to end up with my finished piece. And then what I've done is I've actually put some red line tape around the outside of the vellum. So this is on the reverse to stick it down onto the white card. Okay. So again, I'm just going to take the liner off here. And then we're just going to pop this down over the white so that we get the benefit of all that lovely colour and the shimmer showing. And this is going to be the panel on top of the gift box there. So again, just about in the centre. I'm not worried that that's not the same all the way around because we're actually then going to frame this. So again, I've had a look through the stash and I've got that gorgeous turquoise mirror card. And then again, in come those texture. I love these.
It's brilliant.
I've actually got the original set, which were 8x8 square.
I've got them. I've got them.
And I use them all the time. So when we brought out the, I'm like, oh, excellent. Yes. So we've got that 5x7 size now. So literally, I've used my matte and layer dies. So I've got the rectangular matte and layer dies there. I've used 2 out of here to create my frame first. And then once I've got the frame, I've then passed it through the embossing folder to add that Hessian, just a little bit of texture on there. And then we've got foam behind that. And this is literally going to now encase that vellum inside there, just to sort of add that extra layer. So I just want to take the backs off here, which is usually my my test. Sometimes it plays,
sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes it doesn't.
I remember that, I think they were called textures. And I remember it's when Fiona was here.
Yeah.
And at the time it was the old Crate and Craft. It was a pick of the day. Just launched at 9 o'clock. And I think it was about 10 past or quarter past, they'd sold out.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember I'm so glad I got my hands on them.
Yeah, I use them a lot. They stay, again, they stay out, the ones that don't go away. They're just slotted down the side of my box. Now again, just a little tip, I will just tell you what I've done with this one. Because I didn't want all the edge of the foam showing, I've just taken one of my alcohol markers and just gone round the edge of the white foam with that turquoise so that we've not got that white layer.
No.
Again, this is just me being picky. It's
But
not
it works,
necessary.
doesn't it?
It's just the OCD kicks in. So this one's actually going to go over the top, and I've just made it big enough so that it will cover the vellum, but we've still got a nice layer of that blue showing on our matte layer underneath. So the white card's just there for the purpose of showing the vellum and the patterning. And then I've done sort of the reverse for the sides of the box. I've actually gone with the turquoise, and then I've just done some more of the plain stamping card and run those through that texture folder. It's not as easy to pick up on the white there. And I'm just going to pop these round the edges, Craig. So I've just got a little bit of sticking to do, and then we'll embellish it, and then we're sorted.
God, that's absolutely
So I'll stick these down.
That is lots. Dieta is saying, going to do that with the red for Valentine's.
Yep.
That would be good. Samantha's actually saying, Jan, will any vellum do?
Should do.
Yeah.
Should do, yeah.
Perfect.
You could even enhance some of your pattern vellums.
That's what I was just about to think.
You know, it is very abstract again. It's one of those that's not easy to replicate. But if you've got a pattern vellum that you're not particularly keen on, have a go. Have a go. You know, what have you got to lose? If you're not using it anyway, because it's not a design that you're particularly keen on, have a go with some of the, you know, the watercolour. And like I said, last time I was here, I did this with the pigment stains that we've just made this background with, so dropping those in. The customer that asked about the aqua tints, you could drop those into your shaving foam. Your sparkle inks will work into your shaving foam. Anything that's got that water base, and you'll get a different reaction with each and every one of them. But I do particularly like this with the pearlescent nature to it. It's just got that extra little bit of something. If you're wanting that, you know, that little bit of a gift that's just got that bit more to it.
Yeah.
That pearlescent finish is just really, really sort of, just finishes it off, I think.
But you saying there the colour and mediums you can do it with, Rosalind's asking, will this technique work on acetate or will it not stick to the surface?
It won't stick to the surface of the acetate. It'll just, the only way that you could possibly, and again, this is not something I've tried, this is just head going into overdrive, is to mix a little tiny bit of glue with it, and water it down a little bit so that you've got some, you'll need some kind of adhesive for it to stick to the acetate. So possibly the tacky glue, where's my big bottle gone? So the tacky glue is what I decant into the little applicator that you see me using. But a little bit of this with some water. I'm just trying to think, you might be as well doing it in something like the little tray that we had on with the paintbrushes, the mixing palette.
Yeah.
Because you'd need a means of getting it from A to B into
A to B, yeah.
So yeah, little. It doesn't need a lot. It would only need a little bit, and then your colouring medium with it to colour it, so that you've actually got like a coloured adhesive.
Yes.
That may stick to the acetate then, but just the colour on its own, because it's water based, it would just slide off the top. Yeah. Yeah, that's not one that I've tried. As I say, that's sort of theory coming into play again in my head. So don't quote me on it, but in my head, that sort of, it just needs some kind of adhesive in there to help it stick together.
Yeah. I've tried it myself, Jan. You know where we use a dye, we die cut it out, we stick it onto acetate and we do the stained glass effect with the classiques and that. I've tried it where we do that, but instead of the alcohol pens, I've mixed maybe like our sparkle pens, some of the sparkle with a little bit of our tacky glue, mixed it up and then painted that into place, because the glue then enables the sparkle pen to stick. It gives it the stick bit,
doesn't it?
I've
Whereas the alcohol, because it's solvent, the alcohol evaporates, the pigment stays where it is, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
So that's going to be the top of my box. I did actually quickly stick the bottom, because just see me stick the bottom half together is not much fun, is it? So we've got that there. And then the last thing, I've got a nice little bow just to pop on the top, because we'd worked with a lot of the blue. I've gone for a little pink bow to pull out the pink in there. And then of course, you know, you can or cannot, it's entirely up to you. I've just got some little gems there, and I was just thinking possibly, where's my little tool gone? Where are you hiding?
Hiding.
Did I put it back?
What tool was that?
Is it sat looking at me? There it is, it's right in front of you, Jan.
Yeah.
Right under your nose, yeah, exactly where I left it. So yeah, I've just got some little pink and blue. I was just thinking of possibly an odd one or two of these, just positioned. I do like my pearls, I get carried away with them. As I say, this is totally optional, but just to finish it off, I'm just going to work with the pink and the blue to just sort of bring it out. Whoops-a-daisy, I've got a rogue one. You know, just I don't want to put a lot on. It just wants an odd one or two there. And do you know, there's not many pink ones left. I don't know why. Anybody think I'd like pink, wouldn't they? I've only got a few of the pink ones in there. But yeah, just to give it a little bit. I'll stick these on with the tacky glue in a second. But yeah, just to finish off that and draw your eye into that sentiment. But yeah, really nicely. And what I love about this is that you can personalise these. So if this was to go, you know, maybe it's an anniversary present and it's one of those anniversaries that has a colour attached to it. You can use that colour scheme. So it could be, you know, sort of a silver wedding, a diamond wedding, a ruby wedding, whatever. It may be that you want to incorporate, somebody's just mentioned the Valentine's Day, doing it with the reds and things like that. So, you know, there's lots of different ways that you can incorporate it. If you've treated yourself to those lovely textured embossing folders, you can use any of them. It doesn't have to be the Hessian one, you know. So again, if you don't have the Matt and Laird dies, I don't know whether these are in stock on the website. We do the rectangles and the squares, but I don't know about you, Craig. These again are a staple, aren't they?
Yeah.
Absolute staple. So for making frames as well, it's much easier. I used to cut the outside piece out and then get the ruler and the craft knife out, and I'd always end up making a mess of it on the last cut. So using the dies with it just makes it so easy. So all I'm going to do is just stick these down, and then we're all done with that one, Craig.
Perfect, excellent.
So I just want a few little dots of glue, and then I'll pop these on just to finish it off. And again, whenever it's anything like this, it's always that tacky glue for the embellishments, although this one's gone very shy. Decided it doesn't want to play.
Remember, all of these are on your 342. That was just 2 of them that Jan's used, but you've got that selection of all your different ones. All these ones being 20 mils in total, $4.25, $7.99. It's not often, for me anyway, that I've seen anything such exquisite, such as any of the Cosmic Shimmer inks, whether it's water-based or your alcohol-based ones, being on a 3 for 2. And the fact that you can mix and match if you so wish, £3.40 each as a platinum, or $6.39. Love, you know what I'm like anyway at home, you know I love my pastel tones, that's why I absolutely adore this one. But then mixing the colours and changing them, and you can do what Jan's done, but it would look different.
Do you know, I've got one pearl that's been a rogue. There we go, sorted. And this is just me faffing. You know, it's not necessary. You might not be into this kind of thing, but I do like just that little random selection, just to finish it off there. And you've just got those colours bringing it all together. We've got that Hessian round the side just in the white, just to add a bit of extra decoration. And again, you know, if you've got the extra pieces, you could actually use the extra piece to stick inside to link it together. So you could put this inside the box. If you were going to do that, I'd probably attach this to a piece of double-sided adhesive to stick the vellum down. Otherwise, the tape, it was okay using the tape hidden under the frame, but if I stuck this in with the red line tape, you'd see it around the edges. So popping it onto a piece of our double-sided adhesive sheets, you're going to get that all over stick, and it sticks down nicely without it showing through. Excellent. So yeah, that was number 3 with those pearlescent inks. But like I said, any of your watercolour mediums will work in the shape, and it's so much fun. And what I've got left in here, we do tend to end up wasting it when we're demoing, but what I've got left in here, you can go back into this as many times before it starts getting muddy or you're losing the impact of it, and just keep lifting. So you probably get 3 or 4 backgrounds out of this, whether you're continuing with the vellum or whether you wanted to add some cardstock in there before it starts getting muddy enough that you would end up. And then all I do is just take this to my either kitchen sink and just literally rinse it under some warm water, and it just goes away. So it just dissolves. Doesn't do any damage. No. I've not got a pink and blue sink or anything like that.
No. Excellent. Also, just if I can give you a little bit of a tease, because Jan was on about nesting dies. This next week, as Jan was saying, that kind of each day, we've all got our own day. Jan's not part of it only because she's taken a well-deserved little holiday. Are you going anywhere, Jan?
We're not actually going away, no. It's only because of the little one's birthday. We've got one or two activities lined up for him during the course of the week. And I thought, I don't want Nanny to end up being at work.
Not at all. Not at all.
We've got all sorts of different things going off, culminating with just a little family birthday party for him at the end of the week,
So my date is on Wednesday, and I just wanted you to know that just in case you thought, well, where's Jan? Because Jan's off on holiday.
Yeah.
My day is Wednesday, so guess what? I've themed the masterclass all about nesting dies, of course. Nesting dies. So we're going to have nesting dies, we're going to have foam pads, we're going to have adhesives, I'm going to show you lots of different techniques as well that I love to do with my nesting dies. So just keep that in mind. So my one is on Wednesday, so I'm here all day today. Of course I'm here today. All day Wednesday. So I'm still here.
I thought we'd got like one of those fancy technical images of you then when you said that.
It's like ABBA, isn't it? They do that just now,
gosh,
don't they?
Yeah.
So it's going to be my day on Wednesday and back with Ben. We're back together again on this side here. So you could do what Jan's just done there, then die cut one of the beautiful nesting dies out, sit it over the top, layer it over the top, but you need the ink to do that. If you want to do what Jan's done, these ones were your pearlescent watercolour inks. We do have, I'm going to speak to Johnny. Johnny, will I just go by the screen or will I show each bottle? We'll go by me. Here we go. We've got, in actual fact, I've got the one that's on the screen. Cerulean blue. All of these, 20 mils are each of them, £4.25 each or $7.99. You've then also got your holly green. They're all on a 3 for 2. You've then got spruce green as well. We have also got our radiant orchid that you can see here. All these have got that kind of inbuilt pipette sort of feel at the top. We've got Ray of Sunshine, and then we have also got Red Sunset as well. There you go, 3 for 2, platinum price, £3.40 or $6.39. So you could be doing obviously what Jan's done there with a couple of these ones, change the colours if you want, or of course, as Jan said, going to Pinterest, anything like that, have a search, see all the different techniques that you can do. And after that demonstration, quite a few of you have just gone and popped them into your basket. So to give you that a little bit of time to go and check them out, go and do that now, and we'll be back in a minute.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. So, join our family of craft experts with live tutorials and demonstrations every day. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products here on Crafters TV. Get creative and craft along with our amazing deals. Your next craft project is only a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week or watch on catch up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook or our YouTube channel. You can chat to us, craft along and meet new friends in our online crafting community.
You entertain us. You give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
You're all our time with each other! You're not through to boot camp. Get off!
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. So, stop what you're doing and enjoy the fun here on Crafters TV. If you love Crafters TV, we've made it easy for you to watch us wherever you are. Whether you catch us on your tablets or take us with you on your mobile phone, it's easy to watch us anywhere. From here to here. Maybe don't watch us here. It would be easy to watch us here. Probably the easiest place to watch us is here. Crafters TV, with you wherever you are.
We get
to know people from places and walks of life that we wouldn't come across in our everyday life if it wasn't for Crafters TV and doing what we do.
I got so many lovely comments from people when I started doing the presenting, and it was just really such a lovely feeling. And it's nice that people keep messaging in. You know, we see the same people. We know you can build up that kind of relationship with those people. So it's just the fact that people like what we do and they're pleased. And I do love it when people send us photographs of the items that they've made.
We talk about customers, but really they go in as a customer, come out as a friend. The support that I get is amazing. The messages I get are amazing.
Me personally, it is personal interaction. I've never had the best of health. I've always been open about that with our viewers at Crafters TV. So many people are in the same situation as me health-wise. Other people have got a completely different health issues. They understand and they relate to what I'm going through, what others are going through. So whether we interact on a crafting basis or whether we interact on a health basis, a personal basis, we're all there to support one another. It is incredible.
The reaction of viewers when they come to meet us is worth all of the early mornings when we have to get up for our early morning shows.
Some of the customers come on as craft ambassadors and things like that, craft along with us, and being able to actually chat with them on air. I love it. I really love that connection with them.
We've had lots of shows where we've done like craft alongs, especially where we've had viewers craft along with us. We had a particular viewer, Joy, who joined us once before, and she literally made me cry on air, and Joe, because the things she said about us, it really was quite humbling that there are people out there that watch us and invite us into their living rooms and really treat us like family.
Right here, we are now into the last 15 minutes of our Friday evening masterclass evening. Of course, it is 7:45 here in the UK, and it's still afternoon, morning for some of you across the globe. So it's lovely to have your company, whether you're watching us while you're having your breakfast, maybe you're watching us while you're having your lunch, or maybe you're having some supper while you're watching us at evening. Maybe you're having your tea if you've been working on the late shift tonight. It's lovely to have your company. It has been all about mixed media when it comes to this masterclass. It has been absolutely phenomenal. The comments alone, even Susie was saying that there was some she just had to stop sending through. There was that many that was incredible, inspiring. Thank you so much, Jan, for showing us and taking the time. And I know it's easy to say, and I know I say it as well, we'll all say it, and it's easy to say yes, but it's our job. And I'm the same as you, don't really call it a job. We're lucky to not have to call it a job. But we kind of take it for granted sometimes that we get to do this and we're here to inspire in that. But, you know, the comments that you see does make it all worthwhile. Because don't get me wrong, you're up and down that motorway, you know what I mean? You know, Debbie is, you know, what all are. I'm fortunate enough because I live nearby. I only travel when I'm going to Hobby Maker. So we get to play, but there can be long days. We have to try and work out what we're going to do a technique and it doesn't work, you scrap it, or you don't like the colour combination, it doesn't work. It looks right the next day, doesn't look right. So there's all that built in, so it's so satisfying when we hear lovely comments like that.
It is, and that's the reason we're here. It's like without you guys, we'd just be stood talking to a camera, you know, and it wouldn't be much fun. I look like we've just seen on the little videos that we've just shown, you know, that interaction. It's the only place I've ever worked where you get that direct interaction with the audience, and the fact that you can ask us a question and hopefully we can answer it for you. Sometimes we even show you because we've got the things to hand where we can actually say, right, let's have a go. I do remember trying something last time I was here. I can't remember for the life of me what it was. Oh, I know what it was. It was somebody that asked about the alcohol markers on the gilding wax, wasn't it? We tried that there and then and got an answer, you know. So the fact that you can do that, it just means the world. It really does. And I appreciate every single one. I always sit and read through the comments when I get home or the next morning sometimes, because I've got 100 miles to go back down the motorway, like Craig says. So, but it's worth it. It's worth it to be able to come and share what I've learned over the years with all you guys.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Yep. And as you were just saying as well, you know, I could be on here, down in Hobby Maker, back here the next day, and you know what, I wouldn't change it for the world.
Not at all.
And I know the two Debbies feel the same. Michelle absolutely loves it, although she takes the train because she doesn't drive. Corin's up and down. Sheila, we just would not change it whatsoever. So it's always lovely to hear these comments. But we are going to have another look at the showstopper. This is the Mixed Media Showstopper 10-pack collection or deal, £40, $60. If you're platinum, it's going to come down to £32 or $48. And you're going to get your premium watercolour card. It's white watercolour card, 9x12, and it's 300 GSM. You are, when it comes to this pad here, you're going to be getting your 20 sheets in total. Now think of some of the techniques that Jan's been doing throughout today, whereas, you know, she's used something like the kind of your matte effect sort of cardstock watercolour card. Not big pieces, you can be using big pieces, but you know, some of them have been smaller pieces, so you can then make sure that goes a long way. That's included. You're also going to get your brown blending tool. That one has also got the 2 foam heads. You're going to get a 4-pack of your water misters as well, or water spritzers. That's included. Those.
Just a quick word on those, Craig.
Yeah,
I don't like interrupting you, but while you're just holding those up, the pigment stains, those intense stains that we made that turquoise background, just 2 or 3 little drops in one of the misters with a little bit of water, you've got your own ink mister.
Awesome.
So another way to use them.
There you go.
Not so much with the pearlescent ink because there's that danger of clogging the nozzle up again, but the intense stains, you can literally turn them into a little mister as well, Which is why we've popped those in there, so that you can have a play,
Exactly.
There you go. You'd think we thought it through, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you wouldn't. You would have thought so, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? So they're included as well. You're also going to get your mini blending sponges, so you're going to get the 4 of them as well. You're also then going to get your silver gilding wax. That's a full tub, 30 mils, that's included as well. You're going to get your floral meadow. This is your tricolour aqua pens. Okay, 3 pens, however each pen has 3 colours, and then you are going to get 9 colours in total. That's included. You're also going to get your acrylic paint. So this is your dual set. So it's got your pink, your orange, your purple, and of course your violet. So that's included. Then you have got your cosmic shimmer. So this one here, your citrus lime, is one of the pigment stains. So you're going to be getting that one included as well. You're also then going to be getting your watercolour ink, the pearlescent, that one being the cerulean blue that you've got here. And then you're also going to be getting your Spectrum Noir. This is your refill ink, your TB9. Yes, it's going to refill your Classic, or you can do all your alcohol-based techniques.
That's a really dark navy blue, that one. That had looked stunning on that demo that I did first. Can you just imagine that flower against the white background of the card with that re-inker?
Yeah. Yeah.
It would look stunning.
Not that hard-hitting black, but it's got that darkness to it.
Yeah, it's
that
like
sort
a
of
midnight
blue.
blue,
Yeah, it is,
yeah.
isn't it? That's included as well. So all that, think of the colouring techniques that you could do with all of them. Maybe you've gone for those new 2D embossing folders, which, by the way, there's only 3 left and they're available individually. Black cardstock with the silver gilding wax, keeping it very simple, and then doing all your different techniques that Jan's been doing as well, mixing and matching where possible. Brilliant set there, that one being your showstopper. 10-piece deal, £40, $60. Platinum comes down to £32 or $48. Or if it is your first purchase, either after joining Club Inspire, which you would get at a platinum price, or if it is just your first purchase in general, what a brilliant first purchase that is.
It's a really good deal, that, isn't it? Because the gilding wax sell at 10, is it 10 or 11 pounds a pot? It might even be £11.99 a pot. Is it £11.99 a pot? Yeah, just for the gilding wax on its own.
I was, last week, we're just about to do a demo of the show, by the way, in the day, but just to say, last week I was at a hospital appointment, routine hospital appointment, and I went into a craft chain, $16.99 for a Pebeo gilding wax, 30 mils, 5 colours.
Ouch.
$16.99.
Yeah. So when you look at that, the value of that against the total, and you've got, it's like a crafty pick and mix, isn't it?
It is.
Bit of everything for you to have a try and have a play with.
It is.
Right.
Righty-o. Right, we'll literally have a minute for the next 2 choices that we're going to do here. So the first one is going to be demo of the show. So what ones have we done, Jan?
Right, so we started out with those alcohol re-inkers then, and we did that lovely sort of, tried to create the illusion of a framed print there. So that was the pink alcohol ink, just on that non-porous cardstock, number 1. Number 2, we made the background with those Cosmic Shimmer Intense pigment stains. And you can just see that lovely rich colour on there, using that as a water-based medium to make the background. That's number 2. And then number 3, we added those beautiful pearlescent watercolour inks from Cosmic Shimmer into the shaving foam, and we did it on vellum tonight, just to create, you know, this could be the front of a card project. Number 3. So
Awesome.
just a 1, 2 or 3. I did have another one prepped, but obviously with all the explaining and everything, time just gets away from us.
It does. It flies in. So there you go. Get your votes in. We're going to have a look at one other item, and then we'll come back and then we will do demo of the day. Right, let's have a look at our Explorer kit here. Now, when it comes to Explorer kit, another one that is exceptional value for money. The Sunflower Creator Card die you're going to see on its own, it was £16, £16.99. So when it comes to this full set where you're getting your cardstock, you're getting folders galore, stamping dies as well, Explorer kit, exceptional value for money. It is on Shop the Day as well, that you would expect when it comes to everything else. That's your 6-piece mixed media Explorer kit with your stamping dies, etc., etc., all containing the enchanted doors. So that one there is from Secret Garden, 11 elements in total of a combination of stamping dies. We've also got Candy Cane cut and embossed folder. Please don't think you can only use it for Christmas, because I actually use it more out of Christmas than at Christmas time. We've then got our gorgeous one, got the Sunflower, your duo embossing folders, 2 within that set. Each of them are 2" by 7. You've then got your 3D embossing folder from your Masquerade Ball, which is that phenomenal chandelier, the amount of depth with the background and the chandelier itself. Here is your Sunflower Splendor. So that was the Creator Card die that I was talking about. You've got the detailed die as well as the outside die. That's included. And then you've got a full pack of your Ivory Centura Pearl. That one is 10 sheets, A4 in size, 310 GSM. Remember earlier on in the day, Jan was saying how you can still blend over your Centura Pearl. She's done it with one of the pink tones when it comes to Centura Pearl. So you can absolutely do that. £30 or $35 if you are stateside, or £24 or $28 for all you guys that's stateside. Then we did touch upon them just a moment ago. This is where now you'll be able to see the exceptional value for money, going by what I seen with my own eyes just during the week there. Gild and Wax, this is a 5-piece. You're getting all 5 of them collection. These are 30ml in total. So all 5 you're getting for $47.96 or $67.96. Platinum is £38.37 or $54.37. You have got your silver. You've got your silver. You've also then got your Empire Gold. You've then also got your King Gold. You've then also got your Antique Gold. Whoop, well caught. And then you've got your Renaissance Gold as well. Remember, this isn't an option or a choice. You are going to get all 5 of them when it comes to your Pebeo Gild and Waxes, 30ml in total. Right, let's have a look at demo of the show. This is demo of the day, isn't it? Demo of the day, it is. Yeah, I got myself all confused there because it is what I thought. It's number 1. Number 1. Right, guys.
Different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Different.
Number 2, wherever you are. These ones here. So we have got from Wake Up Call. Yeah, so we've got Wake Up Call with what Jan done. We've then got our softer side with what Becky done. So 1, 2, and then we've got Jan's one, which is number 3. There you go. Literally a minute or so to get that votes in for that one there. I think I know what one it's going to be, but we'll never know. I've been surprised in the past, so it might be a surprise tonight. Right, we've still got some of these re-inkers. This is your 10-piece selection. All of these are 30ml in total. You are getting all 10 of them, £40 or $50. If you are platinum, it's going to come down to £32 or $40. Think of the techniques not only have you seen Jan do within this show, but previous shows as well. I know Debbie Fisher, for instance, she was here a good couple of months ago. She'd done a show over a weekend with alcohol inkers, so you can be following on from what she's done too. So all of them, each of them with their own little pipette in that lid, £40 or £50. If you are, of course, platinum price, that's then going to come down to $38.37, and something else for you guys stateside. It's disappeared from the screen, so I don't know what it was there. There you go. Charlotte's in a hurry to get home tonight. All right, Theo. Don't forget as well, for you guys stateside, which is just incredible, that your shipping cost now comes down to $9.95, and it is 2 to 3 business day delivery after dispatch as well. We had, forgive me, I can't remember your name, but you did say that you'd placed an order literally right at the end of January, and you've just got it, 30th of January, and you've just got it as well. So that, I think it was Beth, wasn't it? I think it was Beth, yeah. So that is for you guys stateside, your shipping is $9.95, and after dispatch, it's going to be 2 to 3 days delivery, which is exceptional. And as Beth was saying, sure it was Beth, but it was UPS, you got the tracking as well, you were told where it was, how long it was going to be, which was such a, well, it's a win-win for all of us nowadays. It means that no longer, Jan, do we have to rearrange our day around a delivery that's going to come between 8 in the morning or 8 at night.
Yeah.
It's like, gosh.
It's much better when you get that window, isn't it?
It is. It really, really is. So we're getting the winners just coming through just in a moment. When are we going to see you again, Jan?
I'm back, would you believe? As I say, I've got a week off next week to spend some time with my little grandson, but I'm actually back on the 14th. I'm here on Valentine's Day, just because I love all of you. Yes, so I'll see you then. I've got, I think we've got a masterclass, we've got launch day, and I think it's myself and Ben, if I remember
rightly. I think it might be Ben, yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's going to be
good. So I will see you then.
Excellent. Right, guys, let's do it. Demo of the week. We want it to be demo of the week now. Goes to number 3, Jan.
I very much thought it would be. I did as well. It's different, isn't it? And as I say, I wanted it to look like one of those prints that you can buy in the store. So thank you very much, guys.
Yes. Right, guys, demo of the week. Demo of the week. I will see you now, not till Wednesday. I'm going to be here on Wednesday. I will be Hobby Maker in the UK on Monday. So I will see you there on Hobby Maker or here on Wednesday with Ben. Thank you so much again, Jan.
Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure. I think we make a good team.
I think we do as well. I was when you said you were on with Ben, I was just checking to see my schedule. I was like, oh, that's not me. It's not me. Unfortunately, I do think we make a good team, and I do thoroughly enjoy being here. Thank you to Jake, thank you Susie, Johnny and Charlotte as well, thank you so much. Charlotte will be in over the weekend with, well, tomorrow it's going to be Becky and Corin, so I know you're going to have a lovely crafty weekend, and then also Sunday as well. So enjoy your crafty weekend. I will see you next week on Crafters TV, where we've got a special week coming your way. More coming soon. We'll see you then.